Ooh, are we live? Can anyone actually see me right now? Let me know in the chat. It does say that I'm live. This is the very first time that I've done a stream like this one, so it might be a little bit super awkward. I'm not even sure what the quality is like at the moment. Because I believe in my preview I could just see like 360p. And I'm not sure if you can actually go up to like 1080p or something. Let me know in the comments if there's anything wrong at all. If the sound is good, if the image is good. Just a few people here, so not entirely sure if anyone is actually live here. So what I wanted to do is just a test stream, because I want to do this basically every single Sunday. To do this like a weekly live stream, if you will, for all my subscribers and all the people out there. Because what I usually do on Sunday is something like a preparation, if you will, for the coming week. I usually do a little bit of a technical analysis, so I look at the charts for all my portfolio. All good, cool, thank you, ABC. Also the quality, so you can also see it in like 1080p or something. Let me know. So yeah, I'm usually going to do a little bit of technical analysis to look at the charts to see if I need to do any preparation for the week, to see if I need to pay any attention to my swing trades. I'll show you in a minute. And usually what I also do, especially in this time, in this season, the earnings season, if you will, I just take a look at all the earnings that are coming up to see if I need to pay attention to any major earnings that are coming up as well. So if you have any questions for me, also let me know. This is just a little bit freestyle. I haven't really done any preparation for this. So, great. Thank you, ABC. I haven't done any preparation. I usually don't do any preparation for this. So yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. And if not, I'm just going to go through these earnings. So I think we're going to have some major companies reporting for earnings this week. Let's see, on Monday we have Thermo Fisher. It's actually a company I've been working for quite a lot in the last couple of years. I've been working as a translator for medical companies usually. And Thermo Fisher was one of my major clients actually. I don't have it in my portfolio currently. I'm not really very deep in medical companies so far, but it's definitely a very cool company to look at. Let's see, I'll just write it down here, TMO. What else do we have on Monday? Let's see, Cirrus Logic is of course a big one as well. I suppose a big favorite by Jeremy from Financial Education. If you haven't watched him, then definitely check out his stream or his YouTube channel as well. He's got like 3 of them, pretty cool ones. Let's see if we have anything else. No, on Tuesday. Oh, you have Alibaba on Tuesday, so that is going to be a massive one for me because Alibaba is one of my swing trades right now. It's still quite low, I believe, and it's going to be interesting to see if the earnings are actually going to have some kind of influence on the price action there. Pfizer will be a massive one. It's going to be interesting to see how many vaccines they are producing right now. Might actually tune in for that one. Yeah, I'll just write them down. Could be cool. UPS, ExxonMobil, let's see, what else do we have? Amazon. I don't have any Amazon myself, I don't have any Google myself, but yeah. Tuesday is probably, let's see, it's most likely going to be the most important day for earnings this week, I guess. Could have some implications for the overall stock market. And then Match, is that like a dating website, dating stock or something? I don't really know that one. I saw that Bumble was going to do their IPO this year, I believe, so Match, that's going to be a cool one. Amgen is also a company I've done a lot of translations for. Cool company. AbbVie, also a company I've done translations for. Spotify, let's see if we have anything that is in my portfolio. PayPal, I don't own that anymore. Qualcomm is also, I believe, one of Jeremy's favorites as well. And I think, is that kind of it? On Thursday, Peloton. I suppose many people are holding Peloton as well. Regarding earnings, I'll talk about that, Jesper. So let's see. I'm going to make notes because usually I don't recall stuff. I'm very bad with recalling stuff. I usually need to write things down before I actually remember them. So tactics regarding earnings. I'll talk a little bit about that. I don't really have that many tactics, to be very honest with you, because yeah, the results of tactics, or the results of earnings rather, are very unpredictable, but I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Let's see, so we are on Thursday, Peloton, GoPro, T-Mobile, Regeneron is also... Now, I think Tuesday is definitely going to be the biggest day for this week with regards to earnings, and I'm definitely going to hop into the Alibaba call, if that actually is at a good time for me, because usually these calls are at very annoying times for me. I wanted to go to a Tesla earnings call as well, but it was like 12:30 at night or something like that. I didn't want to stay up to like 2 o'clock in the night just to stay awake for the Tesla earnings call. Okay, anyways, we're just going to check out some charts. Probably going to look, if you're not into technical analysis, this might look a little bit confusing, if you will. So we said we were looking at Thermo Fisher. Let's see if that is any interesting. It has had a very nice run in the last couple, well, a beautiful graph, of course. This is a weekly graph, so every single candlestick over here, every single vertical green or red bar over here, if you will, is 1 week of price action. Yeah, beautiful company to hold, if you will. This is 200 billion market cap stock. And let's see, this is the daily charts. We've had an interesting week at Thermo. We had a massive down day on, what was that, like Wednesday, I suppose? On the 27th of January, 5% down, but then ran back up. So with regards to my tactics for earnings, I don't really have any specific tactics, because as I just said, like, it's very unpredictable to see what the stock price actually does with earnings after earnings. Sometimes you see having very good earnings, but the stock actually falls for some reason. Sometimes the earnings are very bad, but stock actually goes up for some reason. So it's really difficult to have some kind of tactics. What I usually do is I look into TradingView. So this is called TradingView. If you haven't gotten an account at TradingView just yet, I believe it's free. So you can have an account for free. It's a very useful site to do technical analysis, but also to look at like financial stuff. You can click here and go to like more financials. You've got all this information about stocks, so like their income statement, balance sheet, like all kinds of information that is probably pulled from their 10Q and 10K filings. Their balance sheet as of, this looks like it's per year, but you can also put it at quarterly, so you can see kind of what their balance sheet looks like. As you can see right here, so you can, for example, see that, well, they have $64 billion in assets and $32 billion in liabilities. You can look at their total debt, blah, blah, blah. You can look at their cash flow, some statistics, if you will. Look at their market cap over the last couple of years and last couple of quarters. So very useful stuff over here in just one overview, if you will. You don't need to pay anything for this. You can just create an account and it works pretty cool. So what is also pretty cool is like you can put in these indicators. These are the earnings calls, and you can see the estimated earnings per share over here. And for the previous quarter, so the previous earnings calls, you can also see the estimates and also the reported earnings. So you can see if there was a positive surprise or a negative surprise, right? So you can basically see what, in this case, Thermo Fisher has done in the last couple of earnings calls in the last couple of quarters. So here, for example, in Q3, we saw a positive surprise. The estimated EPS was 4.33, and the reported EPS was 4.84. So yeah, a positive surprise of 12%. If we go to the quarter before that, the estimate was almost exactly the same as the reported EPS. Before that, we saw a miss. So you can just see this in a very comprehensive view, if you will. Pretty useful. So for this earnings call, for this season, we're going to have a relatively high estimate, I believe. So we have 6.56, and in the previous quarters it was 4.84. We had 2.9, we had 1.97, 2.49. So this is a relatively high EPS. If they beat this one, I would suspect that it does have some positive implication on the stock price. But again, you never know. If they say something during the earnings call that is actually interpreted as something bad, you can see the stock plummet. So yeah, with regards to earnings, I don't really use earnings for any strategy, any investing strategy, if you will. I mainly look basically at technical analysis myself. And with regards to my long-term portfolio, I also look a lot at the fundamentals of a company, and the earnings call could of course have implications. What I do sometimes do is I wait until the earnings call has happened. I wait until the stock price has maybe come down a lot because of something that was said during the earnings call that was actually bad. And if it's actually not that bad, then I don't mind entering like a swing trade, if you will, so that the stock has a little bit of time to recover and that I can make some money off the stock that way. So yeah, that is probably it with regards to my tactics. It's not a very good advice, I would say, but yeah. That's all I got for you, sorry. With regards to technical analysis, do we see anything interesting? So we're on the daily chart right now. I would say kind of sideways. We don't really see anything very, very important. This is the RSI, so the relative strength index. This is the blue line over here. Usually when the blue line is all the way up here, it means that the stock is relatively overbought. And when the RSI is all the way down here, it means the stock is relatively oversold. So right now it's a little bit in the middle. It's not really signaling any major upside, major downside. This is a special stochastics that I have. It's not very important. This is a MACD. It could be seen as a bearish signal that the MACD, this blue line over here, crossed the orange line, the signal line. That could have implications if you look at the previous cross, for example, that was right over here. So let's actually see what happened then. Yeah, we did see that that was actually signaling a major move downside, right? So could be one of the early signings of a downtrend, if you will. But yeah, it depends a little bit on the earnings as well. Okay, Thermo Fisher. Let's take a look at Alibaba. Let's take a look. So we have been going down quite a bit. Partially because of Jack Ma being missing, of course. I believe he's back. We're not 100% sure, but I believe he's back. Yeah, Jack Ma is, of course, not even the CEO anymore, but he is the founder, so I suppose a lot of people were a little bit afraid that Jack Ma was missing, and they were feeling a little bit... I suppose that they felt like the Chinese government was oppressing these Chinese stocks. We, of course, had also the blacklisting stuff going on in the United States. The United States possibly blacklisting some of these Chinese companies, possibly even Alibaba, but yeah, I'm not sure if that is actually going to happen. So far we have seen a downtrend until like January, beginning of January, and now we seem to be going up a little bit. Good morning, VA, how are you doing? Yeah, so we are going up a little bit more. Let's see what else is interesting here. So let's take a look at their estimated earnings per share. So 322, last time it was 151, okay. 154 reported actually. So they missed their earnings then, they beat their earnings then, they missed their earnings by quite a lot then. It goes up and down, up and down. Let's actually take a look what happened after these earnings, right? So that is something that I sometimes do as well. Here, for example, they beat their EPS by quite a bit. The estimated EPS was 1.53 and the reported one was actually 3.98. So we had a massive beat over here, and we saw that the stock price actually did go up quite a bit afterwards. Here we saw a relative beat as well. The estimated EPS was 2.28 and the reported one was 2.82. So this is interesting because, as you can see, we had a positive surprise, right? But the stock actually came down. So again, looking at purely EPS doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, you probably just have to be there at the earnings call to actually listen to it to see if they actually say something positive, something negative that could be a major catalyst for the downside or not. Here we had stock going down. This is exactly what I mean, right? We had a massive miss here. So the estimated EPS was 0.85 and the reported EPS was 0.17. So a massive miss, but actually the stock did go up afterwards. So again, it's very difficult to have any specific targets, specific tactics rather, for these earnings calls. Okay, anyways, what else do we want to talk about here? So we had 3.22, last time was... So relatively high estimated EPS, I would say, compared to the previous earnings. I suppose that if they beat this EPS, then I wouldn't mind seeing this stock going back up a little bit more. If we purely look at technical analysis, I do actually kind of like it, if you will. I do believe that we're right now going back in an uptrend, if you will. We are back above the 55 exponential moving average, which is this white line over here. We did close below it on Friday, but I'm not very scared of that just yet. If it starts to break below this purple line, if it starts to close below the purple line, that could start out to be a little bit nasty. If we look at the RSI, this looks pretty constructive. So we first had a RSI crossing the exponential moving average on the RSI, so the blue line crossing this white line over here, and then came back up, and now hopefully is bouncing off this white line again. So now hopefully it stays above that white line. If it closes below, then it probably signals a more downward move, I would say. MACD looking, yeah, I would say a little bit neutral, if you will. Okay, I'll definitely be there for this earnings call. That's going to be an interesting one. Pfizer, we also talked about that one. Let's take a look-see daisy at Pfizer. So Pfizer has been quite boring in the last couple of years, I would say. If you look at, well, this was 2017, July 2016 rather. We already almost had the exact same price as we are right now, which is almost surprising because, yeah, I do suppose that Pfizer is going to have quite some good sales because of the coronavirus, of course. Yeah, this is probably a call that I want to be present at, even though I'm not even holding the company, but it might be interesting to see if that is going to have any impact on the stock market overall. What else can we say about this? So let's go back to the daily chart over here, and let's see if we can see anything interesting going on here. Here we had a miss and the stock went up afterwards. Here we had a miss and the stock went sideways and down afterwards. Here we had a miss. Well, they missed their earnings quite a bit. Interesting. Okay. Wow, they missed their earnings almost always. In September 2019, they did not miss it, but the previous 4 quarters have been misses all the way. And we always saw well, here we saw a down movement after earnings, sideways down, and here it actually went up. Okay. So this was estimated, okay. They're not even having a very high estimated EPS, I would say, compared to the previous seasons, previous quarters. I wonder why that is. I'm not in Pfizer myself, so I don't really know that much about this company, but I would suggest, maybe you have a different suggestion, but I would suggest that they do have actually higher sales, of course, right now because of the coronavirus pandemic, right? Will be interesting. Okay, let's see. RSI, kind of neutral. Yeah, indicators don't really tell me a lot. I'm going to take a sip of my water here. All right. What else do we want to take a look at? Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. I actually wanted to... I can't pull up any comments, right? Pin message. No, that's not what I want to do. Because I was actually looking for a... I'm using Streamlabs right now, but I was actually looking for a program that would let me post your comment on the screen. I believe I could use that with like StreamYard. If you know anything about streaming, let me know. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, I'm now using Streamlabs, and I can't really post your comments on the screen. Cody asks about Apple, I suppose. APPL or AAPL, I guess that's the ticker. Okay, they already had their earnings. So we had a beat with Apple. I didn't even look at this. We had a beat with Apple. Let's see. But the thing is, we did come down afterwards. Well, we had a crazy week, right? I mean, this whole GameStop situation, it's going a little bit out of hand, I suppose. Might even start to have some kind of impact on the overall stock market, if you will. I suppose that some major hedge funds need to take out some of their money from the stock market and put that in their to cover their shorts, right? It's freaking insane. But yeah, I suppose that was more having an impact on the stock prices in the last couple of weeks, or the last week actually. So we did have a beat over here, so they have pretty good numbers. We saw a beat here as well. Okay, so they almost always beat their estimated earnings per share, I guess. With regards to technical analysis, I do see one major problem. If you like technical analysis like I do, maybe I focus a little bit too much on technical analysis. I'm sorry for that. But if you do like technical analysis, you might notice this one, bearish divergence on the RSI. So what does that mean? It basically means that we are on the RSI again. So the blue line here is the RSI. And we see bearish divergence. What does that mean? Well, we see a high over here on the RSI. And we see a lower high over here, right? But if we go to the price action, if we go to the same dates, we see a high over here and a higher high. So as we can see, the indicator is making lower highs, price action is making higher highs. That means that there is a divergence, and in this case a bearish divergence, which usually does indicate a downward momentum afterwards, as we are seeing right now. So I would actually imagine that Apple can fall a little bit more. I suppose that the 55 EMA, so this white line over here, is going to act as some kind of support, which currently is sitting at around $128. It's very hard to articulate because, as you can see in the previous couple of months since, well, all the way back here, actually, since the Corona dump in April, we saw that Apple has also been using that 55 EMA more or less as support, right? So basically all the time when Apple was reaching this white line over here, it was a pretty good moment to buy. This was a good moment to buy, this was a good moment to buy, this was a good moment to buy, etc., etc. So just following that kind of analysis, you would say, well, if it comes back down to 128, that could also be a pretty good moment to buy the Apple stock. Okay, all right, what else do we have? CCIV. So I can't really say a lot about this because, yeah, I'm not entirely sure if they are going to merge with Lucid Motors, of course. There have been major talks about that, but I'm not sure if that is actually going to happen. Because I, for example, am in a swing trade myself in Fuse, F-U-S-E. Almost everyone said that this was going to merge with BlockFi, right? But they actually announced that they are going to merge with MoneyLion, I believe. So yeah, the talks are not always true. Back to CCIV though. So if this actually does merge with Lucid, then that would be epic, of course. I'm not sure if you actually know the, what is it called? Let's see, SPACs. If you know this website, SPACtracks, it's a very useful website to look up some information about SPACs. Here you can go to SPAC profiles. This is a free website, by the way, SPACtracks, S-P-A-C-T-R-R-A-X. So if you go to CCIV, for example, you're going to see that, oh, wait a second. Oh, no. That they have not announced a target just yet and that they are seeking a target. So yeah, we're just going to have to wait for that. I don't have any position in CCIV myself. I don't really plan on entering in any position just for now, because I usually do want to wait until confirmation is actually there and we are actually have an investor presentation we can work with, right? I don't really like just gambling, just putting my money in stocks, even though I did do that with Fuse, to be very honest with you. Okay, what else do you have? FSLR, what is that? I've never heard about that. First Solar, okay. Talk to me about that one. I don't know this one. $10.5 billion company. I do notice a lot of SPACs that are in the solar industry. I do think that, well, I'm not sure if that is going to be like the next EV hype or something like that, but I do have the impression that we are seeing quite a lot of, quite a lot of solar SPACs for some reason like that. But this apparently is no SPAC at all. Beautiful graph, by the way. It's insanely beautiful graph, especially since April 2020. Okay. Huh, seems to be a nice turnaround play. It has been going down from 2008 all the way to 2012, and then just went sideways for like 8 years. And now we actually see some more hype coming with this stock. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Seems really good. It just seems to be riding this 55 EMA as well. As you can see, it started to use it as support over here, and possibly over here as well. So yeah, not a bad stock, I guess. I don't really know this company. I see some people talking about CLA. I keep forgetting if this is Ouster or IPV. I believe this is Ouster, right? I'm not entirely sure. So I did make a, what do you call this? A evaluation video for this one, right? I need to go to my Google Sheets, actually. Let's actually take a look if I can pull that up. Let's take a look. Looks like my internet is a little bit slow today. SPAC valuations. So yeah, I did the evaluation video for CLA. I had the midpoint valuation priced at $30.61, and currently we're sitting at a very low discount, if you will. We're right now sitting at $11.74, and I'm wondering why that actually is. Let's actually go here and type in CL8 to see if we see anything interesting. Colonnade Acquisition Corp over here. We had a target presentation. Yeah. What do I want to look at? This was Austria, exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's because... Yeah, that could be it. Maybe it's because the LiDAR is a little bit, maybe overhyped, I would say. Not a lot of people are paying attention to LiDAR anymore, I have the feeling. If you, for example, let's take a look at laser, like Luminar. Yeah, not too beautiful. IPV is the other one, right? That is... what's the name again? Keep forgetting these names. There are so many specs out there, man. It's crazy. Ava, yeah, of course. So that's the other LiDAR spec. So I think the entire LiDAR industry is going down a little bit. But yeah, again, CLA looks very undervalued, if I have to be honest with you. It almost looks as undervalued that I would like to start a swing trade in this one. I mean, if this actually does have a valuation of $30, then this would be a pretty interesting one. So, I'm gonna put that in my list. It's not a bad one to look at. I think if you see this coming back up, if you see this closing, let's zoom in a little bit. If you see this closing daily candlesticks above this daily candlestick, so basically if you see daily candlesticks closing above like $12.10, I would consider that as a possible reversal of the trend. And then it could not be a bad trade. Could not be a bad swing trade. So yeah, I kind of like it as it is right now. Pretty cool. Okay, ZNTA, what is that? Another spec I haven't heard of. Do you have any, what do you call them? Any targets? ZNTA? Seeking target. Aviation, aerospace, defense, technology, unicorns. I love unicorns. SEC filings, do you have anything interesting here? Current report probably is not going to give us a lot. Yeah, I'm not going to go through that, but let's just take a very quick look to see if we have anything interesting here. Press release. No. Nothing interesting. So did they announce any targets? Let me know if they announced any target ZNTE. If it did, then yeah, could be interesting to look at. But yeah, usually, again, as I said, if there is no confirmation of the actual merger, and if I don't have an investor presentation to work with, so that I can see the transaction details, I can see the revenue, predicted revenue, all that kind of stuff, I usually don't do any trades for these specs, right? Because for me, I mean, is it worth a gamble? I suppose it is. I mean, it's still close to $10 per share. It's right now sitting at $11.85 per share. So I do think that it could be actually an interesting trade. Because, yeah, again, the downside is limited to $10 because you can redeem your shares for $10. The potential upside is actually quite nice usually. I mean, basically all the let's take a look. Basically all the valuation videos that I've done, you see estimations of, well, I would say on average about like $25, $35, usually around like $25 to $30 more or less, right? So it's very rare to see SPACs not going to $20 at least. So if you take that into account, then yeah, you have, what is it? A 15% downside. And let's put it a little bit more like this. Yeah. 15% downside. And well, if it actually goes to 20% or $20, then you'd have a 71% upside. So that's a good risk reward ratio, right? Yeah, but again, just rumors, I think, says ABC Sprint. Yeah, I suppose so. So yeah, personally, I would just wait. But again, not personal, not financial advice, of course, but the downside again is limited. Have you checked Gravity or Baby F? What? Baby F? What are you talking about? Baby F? My God, it actually exists. That's insane. I have not looked into this. I can tell you that much. It's a small company with a market cap of $243 million. What is so special about this one, Eric? I'd like to know. Gravity, though. What is that? Gravity? Gravity. Does this all have to do with... Oh, this is a very small company. Does this all have to do with, like, baby food or something? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. So this is a very, very small company of $15 million market cap. I usually don't really get into these companies because the volume is just so low, and yeah, I don't know. I usually wait until they have at least like a couple of hundred, like 500 million or something like that. Usually for me is almost like the barrier, if you will. I don't really look a lot at these kind of stocks. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm just missing out on the major gains. I'm not entirely sure. And I'm not even sure if I can actually trade this company, for example, Gravity. So it's on the Indian Stock Exchange. What is this called? I don't even know what the stock exchange is called. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I can actually trade that from Europe. I'm based in the Netherlands myself. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Blah, blah, blah. I do like CFII. Oh, yeah, I do like it. What's up, Lee? So I do like CFII. So far, I do like it, right? I still need to do more research, to be very honest with you. But I've done multiple videos about this company is going to merge with View. They're going to have, or they're going to bring smart glass to mainly companies, mainly offices. But they're also going to have residential applications. And I honestly do believe in this company, in the future of this company. I've also seen a similar company, by the way. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Let's actually type that down before I forget. So View. I think this company is underhyped at the moment. If you look at the valuation I did for this company, the estimated midpoint valuation is $43.80. So right now it's the most undervalued SPAC of all the valuations that I've done so far. I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger so you can hopefully see a little bit better. Can I actually zoom in? How do I zoom in on this stuff? Oh, wait, here. Oh my God, I'm such a boomer. Look at that. Look at me go. No boomer anymore. Just a millennial. Let's go. So yeah, CFII had a pretty high estimated midpoint valuation, and they're just trading at almost $10. So honestly, I think this is very undervalued. I think it's very underhyped at the moment. Maybe I should take a better, more critical look at it, I suppose. But yeah, so far I still like it, man. I don't know. If you have any bearish views about View, then let me know. Let me know. Let's see, what else do we have? Rumor, GIK. Yeah, I did a valuation video for that as well, man. I actually have still a position in GIK myself as a swing trade. So I had multiple valuation videos, or not multiple valuation videos. I did one valuation video with, I believe, two various valuations for this company. I had a relatively low valuation of $23.33, but also a high valuation. That's probably not going to happen. $59. That's not going to happen. I would not be surprised if this is going to trade around like $25, $30 more or less. I think it's still undervalued, possibly underhyped as well. I haven't done as much as research on this company as I probably should have, but yeah, I'm just using it as a swing trade. Just a quick side note. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about another company as well. Just as a quick side note. So I have these stocks that are blue in this list. I'm probably going to be quite small if you can see them. But these blue stocks, if you will, with this blue flag at the front, these are my swing trades. And my strategy for my swing trades is usually that I trade them within like a few weeks, a few months. In the case of SPACs, because almost all of these companies are SPACs, I usually keep them until the merger. And as of, yeah, I've done an analysis of that. I usually keep them until the merger, and I sometimes sell a portion before the merger, and then I sell usually a portion right before the merger as well, just the day before the merger happens usually. Because very often, in almost all the cases, stock is actually going to correct after the merger has happened, right? A lot of people are taking profits, so the stock is actually going to go down. Yeah, if you want to check out my video about that, definitely check it out. I've done many I did a few analyses of SPACs that had completed their merger and were actually trading downwards right after. For example, Luminar, it did go up a little bit, it did go up quite a bit a few days after the merger, but then it went down massively. I believe QuantumScape had the same thing. It actually was a different one. What else happened? Hyliion, for example, it was very overvalued right here. Then the merger happened. Then we went down. So yeah, I usually have these swing trades until the actual merger happens. So yeah, to summarize, GIK, I think they're still upside. That's my summary. I was actually going to talk about a company that was similar to CFII, right? So that is a SPAC that has the ticker symbol TSIA. Have I done an evaluation video about this? No, right? No. So this is actually, it might be an interesting one as well. This is going to merge with, I forget the name. What is it called? No, what is it? TSIA. Latch, right? Latch. Kind of an interesting company. Take a look at this and go to SPAC Tracks. I'm not going to take a look at it right now, but they are into smart homes. I think this is especially is very useful for the Airbnbs, like all the modern applications within your homes, like smart keys and smart systems, so that guests can actually get access to their keys in a smart way, if you will. So yeah, I think this could be an interesting one. Chamath Palihapitiya is also behind, or actually put in like $100 million in a pipe investment. Yeah, so again, this could be an interesting SPAC to take a look at as well. Let's see, how do you redeem shares? Yeah, it's a very good question, and I honestly don't even know the answer, to be very honest with you. I also use the Giro Nick. I am from the Netherlands myself as well, and I actually don't know exactly how you do that, especially with the Giro. I mean, the Giro is a Dutch broker, and in my humble opinion, it's like the Ryanair of the exchanges. They are relatively cheap, but the service is relatively borderline to quite marginal as well. I actually tried to vote on a SPAC merger a few times, and they asked me for like $10 in order to be able to vote. So they charge quite a lot of extra transaction costs for those kind of things. So how do you redeem shares? So yeah, again, I'm not entirely sure how that technically works. I suppose you just need to go to the Giro and say like, yo, I want my shares back. I want my money back, man. I'm not entirely sure how that goes. I'm actually going to write that down because I'm actually going to type that because I actually want to know that as well. Redeem shares. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? I used to go to Holland twice a year when I was younger. Lovely place. Yeah, man, it's awesome. I really like the Netherlands. It's actually called the Netherlands. It's an interesting one. So Holland is actually just a part of the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, we have 12 provinces, and 2 of them are called, Holland, North Holland, Southern Holland. And all the people just call it Holland, but the entire country is actually called the Netherlands. Anyways, it doesn't matter, of course. We're just talking stuff here. So Holland, Netherlands, beautiful place. If you're around, definitely check us out. Go to Amsterdam, do all the crazy things that you can do there. It's beautiful country. Lots of beautiful nature as well. Don't go just to Amsterdam. Also go to other beautiful places like Groningen. That's a beautiful one. Utrecht, that's a place where I'm living close to. That's an insanely beautiful city as well. I think Utrecht might actually... No, Maastricht is probably my favorite city in the Netherlands. And then Utrecht maybe. So yeah, cool. Lovely place. Clean energy play is OEG. Okay. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. Small company as well, 360 million in market cap. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. What was this name? Orbital Energy. Okay, cool. Yeah, it could be definitely a good one. Mainly looking at technical analysis, it hopefully stays above this yellow line over here. This is the 8 daily exponential moving average. If we zoom in a little bit more, we can see that it started to use this yellow line as a support. It used it as support here as well, and hopefully uses it as support here over as well. So yeah, it could be an interesting company for sure, definitely. Procter & Gamble, were they going to, I'm not sure if I saw them in this week's earnings. Procter & Gamble, or did they already, oh wait, I can of course just see that here. Oh, they already had their earnings. They had their earnings on the 20th of January. Okay, and we had a miss. Okay, a slight miss, and we are a little bit going down right now. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'm gonna take a sip of my water here. Let us see. So this is the weekly chart. The weekly is actually right now at the 55 EMA. Probably is going to go a little bit deeper if I had to guess. Yeah, I do think it has a little bit more downside to go. I would not be surprised. Let's see if we have any support over here. Oh, we do have quite some support going on over here because of all of this price action going on here. Let's zoom in a little bit. So let's say that more or less this is a horizontal support and that they are at almost right now. So I do imagine that there's going to be some kind of bounce of this support of about like $126. Could go a little bit deeper because I also see some price action going on here around 124 and a half more or less. Yeah, it's not too bad to be honest, because if you take a look at the indicators, they are already quite low. As I've said in the beginning of this stream, if the RSI is this low, then it usually is a pretty good sign that the stock is relatively overbought. We saw the same thing happening over here, so it's basically as more or less at the same heights as we had over here. Let's see if this was a nice buy moment. It definitely was a nice buy moment. Yeah, so could be an interesting one if you want to get into Procter & Gamble. Major company, of course, $350 billion company. It also pays a dividend of 2.5%. Let's go. Let's go. Gravity is GRVI. Did I not look at Gravity G? Oh, I did not. Okay. So I suppose, is this the same company or... Let's see, Gravity. No, okay. So I was actually looking at the wrong company. Apologies for that. I don't know this company. Gravity, what else do you say? Video games, look at that. I think you got a different one. Yeah, I'm sorry for that, Eric. Video games, okay, interesting. Any major video games or just, because I don't know that. I'm not really hyped up on video game stocks myself. Had a bad experience with CD Projekt Red. Oh my god. So I was in CD Projekt Red myself. Oh my god, this looks very crowded. Let's take off these kind of things. Yeah. That's a little bit better. I was in CD Projekt Red myself because one of my friends was very hyped on Cyberpunk, and then everything went to shit. Can I even say that kind of stuff on stream? I don't even know. So everything went pretty bad because the Cyberpunk reviews weren't as good as everyone thought they were going to be. And then, yeah, the stock went down quite a bit. I actually sold my Cyberpunk shares, my CD Projekt Red shares a few days ago, like I believe on this candlestick somewhere right here, around like 330, something like that, because I think we had two things. I believe the stock was heavily shorted, and I believe that one of the major hedge funds, which was also invested in GameStop, was also in this company. And it looked like they were going to short squeeze this guy out of this stock as well. Plus, we saw The Witcher actually being in the new Teslas, the Tesla Plaid for Model S and Model X. We saw a picture of the screen within the car, and The Witcher was actually on that screen. And The Witcher is also a game that is produced by CD Projekt Red. And then Elon Musk also twittered something like, about Cyberpunk, like, yeah, great game or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what he said, but he said something about the stock. He said something about the game Cyberpunk, and that made stock go up a little bit more, but now we do seem to have a correction, so not sure, but probably is going to turn into a pump and dump because I'm afraid that people don't really have a lot of interest in this company anymore. Okie dokie, let's see. I think PKKF is a great penny stock. 171 million. Okay. Could be. I mean, yeah, the graph looks pretty good. Graph looks pretty good. Did I already talk about this one? I can't even remember. That's what I mean. I mean, I've got the memory of a goldfish, right? It's not a best memory to have, I suppose, but hey, here we go. Yeah, I mean, this could have major upside if this is a good company. I can't really say anything useful about this. I mean, with regards to technical analysis, can't really say anything useful about this. And with regards to the fundamentals of the company, can't say anything useful either. Thoughts on UWMC? What do you call him? Can't remember. Okay, oh wow. Huh. Formerly GIHV. Yeah, I was actually looking at this company because I thought about doing a valuation video for this, but I was missing a lot of data, and I'm not really... I don't really know a lot about the mortgage sector. I think Yeah, I did look into this, but I was just not sure about this company. Couldn't really find the numbers that I was looking for, and I kind of passed on this one. And it's interesting. Currently backholding is post-merger, and they have earnings on the 4th. Should be beat. Oh, wow, on the 4th. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Be there. Go to the earnings. Definitely. Never ran up before a merger. Yeah, that's interesting, right? That is definitely interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to take a look at the investor presentation right now. But yeah, it actually did underperform compared to basically all the other specs out there. I suppose like the mortgage sector doesn't really have all this hype compared to the EV hype, of course. Could be a major opportunity. I mean, if you actually believe in this company long term, this could be a great opportunity, to be very honest with you. Interesting. I'm not sure what the market cap is, though. I might have seen that the market cap was relatively high. Am I right? Can I really quickly take a look? GIHV. Right, so do we see the investor presentation here? Oh, what a valuation of 16 billion? Holy shit. That is quite a bit. Let's see if we can quickly see the transaction details. Blah, blah, blah. Mortgage broker. This is not what I want. Yeah, cool. Annual growth. Let's take a look at that, actually. So, mortgage market, no. That's not what I want. Appendix. Where are their transaction details? Oh, right. Maybe I didn't even... Oh, yeah, I remember now. I don't think I could even find their transaction details in this investor presentation. I think that was the problem. But, I mean, net income. Is that in... What? Okay. So you have like $2 billion in net income? Or or 2 million? What is this? Oh my god. Yeah, it's $2 billion in revenue, right? Oh my god. In net income. What? Okay, that's interesting. So if it actually is $2 billion in net income, what's the revenue then? 2.8 billion? What? Are you kidding me? I mean, if it actually is a 2.8 billion and they have their company valued at 16 billion, you would have a price to sales ratio of like 5 to 1, right? So, is that true? A little bit more, right? 6 to 1, something like that. Well, about like 6 to 1. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. Huh. So currently backholding, you say. Okay. Well, I don't really know a lot about this company. I don't really know a lot about this sector either. I would just go look at their earnings call, right? I would, if I were you, I would look at what the company is worth right now, how many shares are outstanding right now after the merger, to see what kind of market cap they have right now, if it's actually 16 billion, and if they actually have $2.8 billion in revenue. I mean, this could be an opportunity, man. Could be an opportunity. Interesting. I'm actually GIV. I'll add it to the things I need to pay attention to. Okay, so we talked about that. CFII, yes, we talked about that. Fubo. Oh man, so many people talk to me about this, but I've never taken a look at this. Probably should, because yeah, I need to take a look at this as well, right? So many people are like, check out Fubo, and I never do. So I don't even know exactly what kind of company this is. Fubo TV. This is like a streaming or a sports company. Like, yeah, streaming, live sports. Okay. Huh. Yeah, personally, I'm not too hyped on this sector. I do think that also ARK Invest believes that gaming is going to be more and more important. That I think they also said something about sports betting, if I'm not mistaken. I think they also said something about that. So yeah, could be the case. Yeah, can I say anything useful about this company? Not really, to be honest with you. I've written it down, and I'll take a look at this company, but I just don't really know anything about this company to say anything useful about this. Just need to take a look, man. I'm very sorry, Larry. Need to take a look. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm actually going to quickly go through my current portfolio, if you will, to see if I need to pay any attention to something this week. So Alibaba, of course, I need to go to their earnings. BFT, still no major news. Fuse, going to have to see if they're going to release an investor presentation about the money line. That is going to be interesting. If you have any more questions, let me know also in the comment, right? Definitely let me know. Hyliion, I'm still back holding this one. I'm still back holding this one. So I think the valuation, I believe it was like $20 and like $22 or something like that. So I'm kind of still waiting until this pops. This just seems to be trading with Nikola, right? And even Nikola is doing better than Hyliion. I just don't understand this, man. I don't understand how Nikola can be trading at a higher market cap and doing better than the Hyliion. It's just, I don't know. For me, it's just crazy. But yeah, stock market can remain irrational longer than I can remain solvent, I suppose. IPV, nothing too special right now. TSIA, talked about that. XPeng, yeah, is that going to have any impact because of Alibaba? I don't really think so, I guess. We just need to wait until the earnings of the 3rd of March. Let's see, what else do we have? ALPP doing its thing. So this is a company that is acquiring drone companies, more or less. Not all of them are drone companies, but some of them are drone companies. And this company has the ambition to go to the Nasdaq. I'm going to hold it until they get to the Nasdaq, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to hold this company. But yeah, not a bad company. This could be a potential multi-bagger as well, currently sitting at a market cap of $550 million. And yeah, I am very bullish about the drone company, drone sector, just like ARK Invest. CFII, I talked about that. Actually added some shares to my CRISPR Technologies position in this region. I'm not entirely sure at what kind of price, but yeah, it was very close to the 55 EMA, this white line over here, which again is usually used as support over here, over here, over here, over here as well. So hopefully it turns into support right now as well, and we go back up to the moon. Would be cool. Lemonade doing his thing. Switchback. Yeah, I already talked about that quite a bit in my YouTube videos. Square. T-Doc. T-Doc is, it's good to see oh, that's what I'm missing. I'm missing my lines. I was like, I'm missing something. T-Doc is actually doing very well. It had been going sideways for a long time, since June until like December, or like the beginning of January. And finally it broke out above this resistance line, and yeah, it just probably is going to stay above that for a long time, I do think. RSI is very high though, so I wouldn't mind seeing a correction. Wouldn't mind seeing a correction at all. TPGY, I think it's still undervalued compared to Switchback Energy. Tesla, let's go. I wouldn't mind a correction here as well. I would love to add some a little bit to my shares. It would be pretty cool. So yeah, Tesla had a marginal earnings as well, right? I think people were expecting a little bit more from Tesla. But yeah, they stayed relatively quiet, and also their guidelines for 2021 were relatively quiet as well, especially if you compare them with what Elon Musk usually does. So I wouldn't mind seeing a correction or just a consolidation within this region to be able to add some shares to you. Still not sure about this company. I am going to wait until the earnings on the 11th of February. That's not this week, right? No, it's the week afterwards. Cool. Definitely need to go to those earnings as well. UAVS acquired another company. I didn't talk about that one just yet, right? No. I still need to do a YouTube video about UAVS because they acquired a company, MicaSense. It's a, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, sure, let's take a look. MicaSense. Why am I writing in caps? I'm really a boomer. Hold on. It's insane. MicaSense. So AgEagle acquired this company, MicaSense. This is a sensor company. Why is my internet so slow? Probably because I'm streaming. And I think it's good for the company, but MicaSense is mainly focused on agriculture and not so much on package delivery. So I'm actually wondering if they can actually use MicaSense sensors for their drones in order to use them for package delivery as well, right? One interesting thing though is that the former CEO of MicaSense, he was working there until like 2018 or something like that. He is now working at Amazon Prime Air, so the like drone company of Amazon, if you will. I mean, could be a sign, could be a sign that AgEagle could be working together with Amazon, but yeah, it's just a speculation, of course, just speculation. But I do think that AgEagle can have a nice presence in the world of drones with package delivery. Also sitting at a market cap of 573 million. Upwork doing its thing. Workhorse broke out because of Biden, telling everyone that he wants to electrify the American fleet, the government fleet. So Workhorse is probably going to have an advantage there. Zoom, I made a technical analysis video about that. And let's see. So it's right now trading below that 55 EMA, so that white line over here. It would be nice to see a break above that white line. If it does, then I would actually suspect a kind of like a quick move back to the upside. But so far, the white line does seem to keep price action down a little bit. I do think that this looks relatively constructive. There are some bearish signals and some bullish signals. Yeah, a little bit sideways. 55% for me says upside, 55 or 40. Jesus, 45% to me says a little bit more downside. Galapagos still back holding a little bit here as well. Yeah, do I need to talk about this? Nah, it's just a very small company. It's actually interesting. I'm very looking forward to this earnings call as well on the 18th of February, because during the last earnings call, this company reported that they have had $5.3 billion in cash, and the current market cap is $5.6 billion, right? So the company itself is just worth like $300 million, and I'm just sitting on a bunch of cash right now. It's kind of funny to see. Let's take a very quick look at crypto. Bitcoin is actually selling off a little bit today. Okay. Could see some more downside if I look at the indicators very quickly, but so far we are staying above the 55 EMA as well. We had support here, so we could see another move back to the downside to this support level of like 31K or like 30.8K, or even to the 55 EMA, which is going to be around 30.3K. Yeah, okay. Ethereum looking better than Bitcoin. It's stair-stepping upwards a bit more nicely compared to Bitcoin. Would be nice to see a breakout here as well above the previous high of about $1,400. I think Ethereum could have a nice month in February as well, because I think the CME futures are going to start trading. This month, or well, it's not. Is it February? No, it's the 31st, right? Yeah, it's the 31st. So I believe they're going to start trading somewhere in February, I believe, and that could have positive implications for Ethereum as well, unless everyone starts to short Ethereum instead. Chainlink is doing beautifully. Yeah, nothing to complain about there. Aave is just this is beautiful. Probably is in for a correction, but so far it still doesn't really look. I don't see any signals for a correction coming right now, but I do think that this will correct somewhere within probably a couple of weeks, within 1 to 2 weeks, I would say, if I had to guess. If we see this coming down below the this yellow line, if we close below the yellow line over here, then I do think that we are in for a nice correction, possibly even back down to this level over here of about $200, because we had some action going on over here. And Polkadot, this is my newest crypto right now. And I like it. I am actually doing research on this. I shared the research with my Discord members, and I actually like this. I actually also like the guy behind Polkadot. He was the co-founder of Ethereum, and he also basically coded Ethereum, probably together with a bunch of other people. But smart guy, holy crap. If you look at his interviews, wow, insane. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Let's see. Beam, where was I? Yeah, Beam has fallen so much. Did we talk about that? No, right? That's not that much. This is nothing, man. Yeah, just a small pullback, I would say. I mean, sure, it's 22%, but we had a massive move up from like, this is like, here. This was November, right? We had a massive move up of 300%, and now you have a pullback of 20%. Don't worry. This is nothing. Don't really have to say anything about this company, though. Are you familiar with TTD? Yeah. I was actually looking at that kind of, because I'm kind of interested in the digital advertising space. I am, but I was discovering that the trade desk was probably the best trade of them all. But the problem is that the market cap is already quite high, and I'm personally like smaller market caps because I'm currently looking into stocks that could actually appreciate like 10x, possibly even 100x. And I'm not sure if TTD is satisfying those conditions, if you will. But not a bad company to have, I think. And you were also mentioning Pubmatic, right? I was actually looking at that one as well. I didn't do it in the end. I didn't do any fundamental research on this company. Could probably have thrown some money into this company because I was actually looking at this when this was, still at like $1 billion cap instead of $1 billion market cap instead of $1.8 billion market cap. And I was actually considering to buy this one, but didn't do that yet. But could be definitely an interesting one. I'm bullish on the digital advertising space. If you want to learn more about digital advertising, I think you could check out the interview that Gary Vaynerchuk has done with ARK Invest. I think he mentions digital advertising as well because, well, Gary Vaynerchuk is very bullish on digital advertising. Check him out if you haven't done so. Hey man, what's up, Kucha? It sounds really, really strange to say in English. Kucha. What are you thinking about the markets and money moving out of SPACs because of the Wall Street move? Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of deep research, if you will, on the whole Wall Street bets movement. I do think that this could turn out to be something way more massive than it is right now. And it could also have implications on the stock market, as I said in the beginning of this live stream a little bit, right? Because I have the feeling that the big money players, the big hedge funds, are pulling out a little bit of the stock market because they need to cover their shorts, they need to cover their losses. So I do think that this could have implications on the stock market overall. And if this actually turns out to be not just like a small battle, but like a full-on war, then I definitely think that we could have a major correction, that might be a little bit over the top, but I definitely think we could see a 20% correction or something like that because there's so much uncertainty going on, and uncertainty leads to usually lower prices, right? So it's not necessarily the case that it impacts the stock market directly, partially probably as well, but I think that the uncertainty that the entire situation creates, that is going to lead to a major correction. I think. Yeah. So moving out of SPACs, you say, yeah, could definitely be. Yeah, you could be very right. I think that we could definitely see people pulling out some money out of the SPACs, also because they need to cover their losses and they focus more on these hyped up stocks like GameStop, AMC, American Airlines and stuff like that, that they're going to play over there instead of play with SPACs instead. So yeah, I feel you. Let's see, I picked up CFII like crazy on Friday. Let's go, Bo Kim. Let's go. I like to see that. Looks nice that everything is on sale. Yeah, I do think that SPACs actually, I do think some SPACs might be undervalued right now. Picked up CFII as well. Oh, sorry, your THBR. I made a video about that, I believe. I must say that I'm a little bit worried, right? Yeah. The silver market, right? So I'm not sure what I think about silver, because that's just such a massive commodity, right? I'm not even sure. What is the current market cap of silver? Can you see that in TradingView? Is that AG or silver? No. Silver, was that the SLV? Where did I see that one? SLV? No. Let's see. Silver market cap. Can we see that? 1.4 trillion. I mean, it's difficult to mess with a commodity that is trading at 1.4 trillion market cap, right? It's way easier to mess with a company like, well, not GameStop anymore, I suppose. But when this company was like a few billion, then it's relatively easy to mess with. And with regards to silver, I think they will have a harder time to mess this one up. Why does it keep? Oh wait, silver. So yeah, we did see some upside, but I mean, this is a 5% move and a 1% move, right? In GameStop, you see hundreds of percent of movements. I just don't think that silver is a very good place to go for these people. Makes me a little bit uncomfortable with holding money. Okay, yeah. Not sure what to say about that, but yeah. CFII, THBR, worst case is 10% loss. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so many of these SPACs just seem like easy money, right? You have 10% loss or downside potential, and you have like, what is it, like 150, 200% movements to the upside. It's just crazy. What's that CRSP you mentioned? I did talk very briefly about CRSP, about CRISPR. Yes, exactly. Oh yeah, I talked about this because we almost touched the 55 EMA, and we almost are also approaching a support level at $155. So yeah, this could turn out to be a pretty nice moment to get some shares. Not financial advice, actually, no. Let's see, CME needs micro options on the cryptos. I don't know anything about the options, so I can't tell you anything about that disruption. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. No one talking about PBOC. Reverse sale and repo. I don't know what you're talking about, to be very honest with you. Oh, you mean the People's Republic of... No, wait, what? What are you talking about? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Oh, you mean IPOE? Sophie? This is a good one as well. Yeah, it's also a spec that is, well, I suppose backed by Chamath Palihapitiya. I basically like everything that Chamath is doing. I like what Chamath is doing with crypto. I like what he's doing with the whole Wall Street bets movement. I think he's a good guy, a very smart guy as well. China Central Bank. Right, okay. Thanks, Larry. Right, okay. Yeah, I probably need to look into that because I don't know anything about that, to be honest with you. So I'm sorry for that. So China Central Bank, reverse sales on repo. Okay. All right, what else do we want to talk about? We've already been here for a little bit more than an hour. It's pretty cool to just be live streaming. I've never done this before. This is just completely new for me, to be honest with you. Yeah, was afraid that this was going to be very awkward, but so far it's okay. I just don't really know what kind of things to talk about. So if you have any suggestions for the next coming streams, like next week and stuff, then definitely let me know. I would love to like prepare something for you or ask any specific questions that you have, or just talk a little bit with you guys, just like we did today. Could be cool. I don't really have anything else to talk about, so if you have any specific questions, then definitely let me know. And if not, then I'll probably take off. I'll wait a few more minutes to see if any major questions come in. And else not, if not, then I'm just going to end this stream and probably leave you at this moment, right? Let's see, is there anything else? Drone companies, eHang. I'm still looking into eHang. This is an interesting drone company as well. This is working together with DHL, so they're looking into package delivery as well. I thought they were just going to do passenger transportation, but this might be a stock that I'm actually going to add maybe in the next couple of weeks, maybe in this week after. Problem is that the indicators seem to be a bit high up there, so RSI is quite high up here. Stochastics are high up there, MACD is quite high up there as well. So yeah, I'm kind of waiting to see if this goes a little bit down further so that I can add my shares at a lower price point. But if we do see a sign of a possible like reversal back to the upside, then I wouldn't mind starting a position over here. On the 1 hourly chart, we could actually see a reversal. I think if we started trading above like $68 more or less, then we could see a more like an upside movement in the next couple of days, weeks. But yeah, so far I'm just waiting. Liquidity drain can be devastating to the overall market. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Interesting times. I think if this actually turns out to be a massive war, like this whole Wall Street bets movement is going to turn into a massive war, if you will, then this could be a very important time for the stock market. It could be one of the major stories of this decade, I believe. Okay, I don't really have anything else to talk about, so I'm just going to end the stream over here. Thank you very much for being here. I really, well, appreciate you being here because you spent time with me, and that is just awesome to have. So thank you all. Thank you to Bokim. Thank you, Kutya. Thank you, Larry. Everyone who is commenting here. Thank you for being here. Again, let me know if you have any feedback, if you have any constructive feedback on how to improve my streams, how to improve my live streams, any topics you want me to cover next couple of times. If the quality was good, if the audio quality is good, if the video quality is good, definitely let me know. And yeah, with that being said, I thank you very much for your time. Hope you're going to have a beautiful Sunday today, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye bye.